In this video, you will understand the basic fundamentals about vertical speed, which can be very powerful, but if you don't understand how to use it properly, it might lead you to an undesired environment. We are inside of the Airbus 320 at 10,000 feet. When you're a pilot, they pay you to be as efficient as possible. So it's not the same technique when you are climbing and using the vertical speed and when you are descending. The key is to save as much as fuel. We will select speed 250 blue. So the first thing that we need to make sure is that the aircraft won't be doing like a coming the N1 too high and then too low and then comes back. So the N1 is gonna be like 80%, 70%, 50%. And the problem is that they don't fully understand what's going on. And as a pilot, you need to be as efficient as possible. You want to save fuel. Besides the company that they push you to save fuel, you also need to save fuel for yourself, because when you are going to the arrival, and that extra fuel will help you a lot in the big decisions to go or not to the alternate. Anyways, you will learn here how to use it properly. So let's say we are climbing flight level 300. So we will set it here, flight level 300 blue. We will use only vertical speed, okay? So let's say you think vertical speed 2000 feet is enough, so we will keep to speed 250. Remember here on the FMA, we have the speed mode, which means the aircraft is doing with the auto thrust, right? See now, vertical speed 2000, flight level 300, speed 250, but as you can see here on the engines, it's 80%. How can you know what's the maximum continued thrust for this time in this situation? Is this blue dot. So that means that the airplane still has 10 RPMs, a little bit more to go percent. When you are in this situation, you want to go as high as possible in order to save fuel, right? You are not using the maximum power. Remember, the higher you are, the faster you can go with the less amount of usable fuel. So we need to reach flight level 300 as fast as possible, right? Let's do it again. We will level off. Later we will see this one at vertical speed. We will level off again. How's gonna be the correct technique if you want to use the vertical speed? Let's say again the ATC, you are now clear, climb flight level 300. We set this flight level 300, and now we select the speed first. Let's say speed 280 blue, and then we will choose vertical speed plus, let's say 2500 feet blue. So what's going on? So first, because we choose the speed high, now the engines will keep the N1 as high as they possibly can, which means that we will have more power. And then it doesn't matter, they still arrive at the speed to 280 knots, so that means that we are using the full power even though we select vertical speed 2500 feet. Now I have a margin, so if the speed 280 is approaching, I have either way select speed 290, so the N1 is not gonna go back and forward, or we just keep speed 280 and we will increase the vertical speed. Vertical speed plus 3500 feet blue, and see how the airplane reacts. We are doing this in order, again, to protect ourselves to not going up and down on the N1. So now you see with 3500 feet, now the speed is going down. Quite simple, quite easy. Now it's more like a game, depends on what speed you want to keep. Let's say, for example, speed to 60. So I will set vertical speed plus 2500. See how it reacts the airplane. Now it's kind of, it's almost 260, right? Yeah, it's almost 260 with vertical speed plus 2700 feet. And now we can start playing with this game, which speed I want it. Again, for example, if I want to, let's say we are aim to speed 280 knots, let's say ATC now ask us to keep speed 280 knots. So now it's easy, I can select speed 300, and then I will wait until speed 280 reaching, so I will increase the vertical speed. So this is a game, guys, and this is only with the trial and error. So for example, let's say we're 2000 vertical speed plus 2,500. See how the airplane goes with that. See, we're climbing a little bit faster. So vertical speed plus 2,200. We are trying to reach speed 280 knots, and that's how it works. We're not enough. Vertical speed plus 1,700 feet below. We are doing now the example. What's the mistake that usually people do? For example, they say we are aiming for speed 280 knots. Let's say we put it here, speed 280 blue, and see the N1, right? Still not in the full power because now he wants to keep speed 280. So now the problem is that I'm using vertical speed 2000 to trying to aim to speed 280. Now the aircraft feels that it's not enough power, so it starts to increasing. This is a very little movement on the engines of the power. When the people do it wrong, you will tell a lot to your captain or to the people that is watching you. If you are doing these little tricky things and you invest the time to repeat in your simulator this situation, iterate, that, guys, will be mind-blowing for other people. How you see, how you look, how you properly manage the airplane. That is for climbing. Let's level off now. That's very easy. We just, on the vertical speed, we will just push it, vertical speed 0. Another common mistake, the ATC will ask you, okay, Flight Pro Academy, climb flight level 300 and speed 250 knots. What's the wrong thing to do? So the first situation is select speed 250, right? Because if you select speed 250, immediately the airplane is losing power, is losing the thrust. And now we just say we keep to 2,500 feet. This small gap, you are losing a lot of energy, a lot of valuable energy, and then again the N1 is coming up. These little movements and these little actions makes your flight wasting fuel, and you don't want to waste fuel. So again, let's do vertical speed 0. We are doing it in the correct way. So the ATC tell you reduce speed 220 knots and climb flight level 300. If you are using again vertical speed, we just first choose anything above speed 285 blue. So now we have time to set the vertical speed. Let's say vertical speed plus 3,500 feet blue. And now the engine already has the maximum continuous thrust. But now we are doing this, using this energy to climbing faster than before. And we just aiming speed, we say speed 220 or 230. We just aim when the speed approaches, we just start to reducing the vertical speed. That's the exercise, guys. That's the thing. Just coming up, down. But first remember to manage the speed properly in order to not wasting fuel. Now will be a little bit different for descent. Vertical speed 0. Speed 240 blue. If you want, you can see it as the opposite that we are doing now for climbing. Let's say now we are clear to descend flight level 100 and speed 280 knots. Okay, now flight level 100, speed 280 knots. It's gonna be the opposite. We increase the speed, but if you want to descend, now you will reduce the speed first. For example, we just set speed to 215 blue. Now the thrust is almost idle. So now we can start descending, right? Vertical speed plus minus 2,500 feet blue. And now we don't have, again, this engine which is going thrust up and down. We don't want this one again. So here is quite easy. Now the engine isn't idle. So we are descending as fast as we can with vertical speed plus minus 2,500. Again, how we shouldn't do this. Let's say speed 240. Another scenario for descending. We are Now speed 280 knots with thrust height open descent, flight level 100. Let's say we want to reduce our speed to vertical speed minus 1000 feet blue. A pro thing to do is first reduce speed to 50 knots. So we just continue with the idle. And then vertical speed minus 1000 feet blue. And that the engines again, it won't run up and down. The power is gonna go up and down. That's always what you want to avoid. There is some specific scenarios, but for now, I want you to show you this exercise so you can practice it and see how it goes on in your simulator. It is again very important. This is the small things that you can see when the pilot understands how the Airbus philosophy works or not. Okay, and that's everything for all crew. I hope you enjoyed this video and see you in the next one.